Tomorrowland is directed by Britt and stars George Clooney and Britt Robertson, and I'm going to be very vague about the plot of this film because the trailers don't really tell you what this movie is about. Essentially, there's a girl named Casey. She is a positive thinker, but also a bit of a rebel, and one day she finds a pin, and when she touches the pin, she is suddenly transported to an alternate parallel universe called Tomorrowland, in which scientists and artists and great thinkers create a better tomorrow. It's a world full of advanced technology, cool-looking buildings, jetpacks, flying cars, and people wearing stylish, futuristic clothes. And then bad things happen to Tomorrowland, so Casey and an old inventor, played by George Clooney, have to stop this certain thing from happening. Now, this was one of my most highly anticipated films of 2015, and I am a huge fan of Britt. I love The Incredibles, I love Ratatouille, I don't know if I said it correctly, and Mission Impossible Ghost Protocol, which I think is the best of the franchise. And it got me even more excited when I heard that he turned down the offer of directing Star Wars Episode 7 so he can make this movie instead. I mean, that's a ballsy move. Now firstly, and this might sound weird to some people, but I wouldn't recommend taking young children to see this film. Not because of the violence or sex or offensive language, because this movie has none of that. Because in the end, it's a Disney movie, and you know, those things just never happen. What I mean by not recommend it for young audience is that even though the trailers don't explain anything about this film, it's still advertised as a movie full of spectacles and action and dazzling visual effects. Everything you expect from a big budget summer blockbuster. Turns out this movie is not so much about excitement or visual effects or even Tomorrowland. It's more about ideas, the kind of philosophy that's just too boring for young children. It talks about the power of imagination, creativity, originality, optimism, as well as environmental issues and human nature. Things that you don't really expect from a family-friendly summer movie. Personally, I loved this aspect of this film. I loved that it was trying to do something different, because this is a wholly original film. It's not a sequel or a reboot or a remake. It's not based on anything, and I have to give props to Britt and his co-writer. It has so many great ideas, and this is by far the best thing about this film. Now, some people might think, alright, you know, we got the idea, but what about the visual effects or action? Are they awesome? Occasionally, yes, it's pretty astonishing to look at, especially when the characters go to Tomorrowland. The rest of the movie, however, is a failure. The tone is all over the place, and the narrative is so mediocre and clunky despite the fact it has a wonderful premise. The characters are not that interesting or refreshing either, because we've seen these types of people before in so many different sci-fi movies. Which is not to say the acting sucked. I mean, the performances were fine, and I liked watching George Clooney playing a cranky old man. But as a whole, I feel like the storytelling and the central message didn't go well together, and the entire third act felt bland and just underwhelming. And as much as I loved those philosophical and thought-provoking ideas, I just wanted this movie to be an action-packed adventure film. Something that makes me forget about the reality and just, you know, have a really good time. I give Tomorrowland a C. So Tomorrowland, have you seen it? What did you think about it? Did you like it? Did you not like it? Let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. And if you like this, make sure you give it a thumbs up and please subscribe to my channel. It really helps a lot. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next video.